Welcome to Durbania. I'm Durbin.
I'm Laura.
And we are going to spoiler talk The Flash, Season 3, Episode 1. Now, just so we're all clear and 100% on this, we're not going to do episode-by-episode reviews.
No, we're just doing the first one.
Yeah, and maybe some key ones like, first season review, mid-season finale, and season finale. Mm-hmm. I mean, we'll see as we go, but...
Time will tell.
We just did that big, long talk with Jared about what we expect and are hoping for future seasons, and I do have great plans for Jared to come back.
Yes.
But right now, it's me and Laura, and we're just going to be reviewing some of these episodes here. So first, The Flash, and then in a little bit, we'll get to Arrow. Okay, so The Flash, Season 3, Episode 1. What are your initial thoughts and feelings?
It just irritates me.
What was irritating to you?
Well, I just don't like the whole Flashpoint idea. I don't.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of that. I feel like, I don't know if you've all seen the episode of Family Guy where Stewie takes over the world and becomes the president, and at the very end, he wakes up from virtual reality and said, basically, it's like we gave the whole world a middle finger. And that is exactly what I think about Flashpoint.
Oh, man. So you just feel like Flashpoint is set up for all this stuff, and, well, we're not going to do it now.
Well, and then the other world, well, we've only seen Arrow so far because DC Legends of Tomorrow and Supergirl don't air until next week.
Yeah.
But I just feel like nothing really changed in the Arrow, and I'm sorry, if he went back in time and changed things, stuff would have changed.
Well, it's just interesting because we've got very little knowledge here, but what we did see is things did change. Like when he came back to our normal timeline, all of a sudden, oh my gosh, what's her name? I forgot her name. Gosh, she's only the main girl, right? Okay. Iris and her dad aren't talking anymore, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. But it's just, to me, that's interesting because it shows there was a change.
Yeah, there was a change, but only there. And we know, oh my gosh, Tom Felton, is that his name? Draco Malfoy.
Oh, yeah.
From Harry Potter. We know he's going to be in the season. We haven't seen him yet. And
this is the knowledge she
before.
Hangs on to because of how much she loves Harry Potter. Yeah.
So, but we know he's going to be in there, and I read something about he's going to be in forensics with Barry, and so he was never there before. So what changed for this all to kind of flow the way it did?
See, at the same time, though, I think that's a positive that The Flash has raised these kind of questions because it's the hook needed to keep us going.
Yeah, well...
Because I'm curious as to what... Now, here's something very fascinating. So, Jared and I kind of raved against the idea of the actual Flashpoint being a full half a season.
Oh, I'm so glad they're back to the present day. Or like, it's
well, here's the other questions this has raised for me. So, in my mind, Flashpoint was that world where Wally was the Flash, where Barry is slowly losing his memories.
I thought he was going to be there for half of a season,
so
I'm glad that's not the case.
So I thought that's what was going to happen, was he was going to be there for half a season,
well,
and where Cisco was rich. That was hilarious.
Well, and if he was, though, all of the shows would have had to be different. All of them.
Yeah.
And that, I guess, that's just too difficult to do.
I guess it would be. I don't know. Like, I could see that there's ways that all the shows could stay the same while you deal with Barry on an alternate timeline. Like, our timeline goes on, but Barry's in an alternate timeline. We're following him through that. But it's funny because Jared and I raved against that Flashpoint being a half a season. Mm-hmm. But there was something charming about it. Like,
it was done well enough.
When he kidnapped Caitlin, and she's like, am I being kidnapped?
Yeah.
That was just such a fantastic line at the end. Can I go now? Finding out was she a vet? Was she a veterinarian? What was she?
No, eye doctor. Ophthalmologist.
She was an eye doctor who happened to be also a world-class genius.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Cisco being filthy rich and all that stuff. So, like, I don't know. I liked Cisco as the rich guy. I thought that turned out kind of funny.
Where was Harrison Wells? Because he would have still existed in this universe.
Yes. The only thing I can make up in my head is Cisco bought out Star Labs from under Harrison Wells, so maybe he was gone.
And he was somewhere else being smart.
Because in this world, he wasn't killed by Eobard Thawne.
No,
so Harrison Wells would have been normal Harrison Wells of Earth 1 and would have been there somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah, that was kind of a blooper that I didn't see him anywhere, but that was what I made up in my mind.
Yeah.
Cisco bought it out from under him.
By the time the show's done, how many times do you think we're going to see Flash and Eobard Thawne, or the Reverse Flash, in trying to kill his mom, and then not killing, and then killing, and then not killing, and then killing, and then not killing? We're already at like 10, and we're only 2 seasons in. Sorry, that just...
You know, that is something that's getting kind of old, it feels like
it's a crutch.
Yeah, every season has to end going back to that moment of his mother's death. It's kind of like what Jared and I were talking about with Arrow, that every season of Arrow has to end with some kind of
chaos.
Dire thing going on with the entire city. It's the same thing with The Flash. every season has to come to an end with him going back in time to where his mom was. In season 1, it was fantastic, and it brought a lump to my throat as he's holding his mom in his arms while she was dying. Yeah, because it was
our first time seeing it.
Yeah, and so to have it come back that way was kind of cool. Season 2, with him doing it, made me mad just because all the build-up they did to have him be at peace with the decision of letting his mom die.
Yes.
And I can get it. He was angry that his dad was killed, so he didn't want anything else taken from him.
Should have just gone back and saved his dad.
Yeah,
you don't have to go back.
Yeah,
just go 20 back. Years. Yeah, just go back a couple hours.
Yeah, go back a couple hours, sneak up behind Zoom, and pop him in the back of the head with your fist. Knock him out, throw him in your prison that, for whatever reason, can hold everybody, and you wonder where they pee. I mean, gosh. I liked that they're not carrying on that Flashpoint where he's in an alternate timeline where Cisco's rich and Caitlin is an ophthalmologist.
Yeah, I know. They're back to who they are.
I'm happy that that's not going an entire half a season, but at the same time, it kind of won me over, and I like those characters that way, and I would have been curious for at least another episode or two to see where that was going to go. But, even that said, the ending of episode 1 hooked me, where you find out things are still radically different.
Yes.
And
you only know that they don't talk, so Barry's at the point where, well, what else is different?
Yeah. So I'll end our Flash review with this, that once again, the Flash has managed to win me over. Like, I was kind of nervous going into the season, and honestly, I'm kind of nervous, what are they going to do with this? Because we still have to figure out how to take Supergirl, who's not part of Earth 1,
and bring her into the universe.
And meld her in. So I still hold to a theory that Barry is going to have to time travel again, and he's going to have to change something else. And whatever that is going to meld it in. And so
I feel like he's going to time travel a couple times to try to fix things, and that's how somehow Supergirl's world's going to come. But which we're going to have to see that in the first episode of Supergirl.
So we stream this, and we're doing this on the CW app. That's why we're kind of late on this reviews, because we do it streaming. And one of the things that has me interested in is the commercials for upcoming Flash, which it drives me nuts that we saw a commercial for a future episode while we're still watching the season premiere. Thank you for blowing things. But to see pictures of him talking to Felicity and saying that he changed something, like, I don't know. There's things I'm very curious about. What did he change in the Arrowverse? Probably minor things, but I'm curious to see what has changed throughout these shows.
I am too. And I mean, I enjoy the show a lot, which is why I'm passionate about it. And so I'm looking forward to the season.
I'm going to give season 3, episode 1 an A-. What are you going to give it?
I'll give it a B.
You are so cynical. You are so cynical. It wasn't that bad.
An A-, I would be willing to rewatch that again. I don't need to rewatch it. I'm good.
Oh, and Alchemy. I want to know who that is. That last thing.
Oh, he's one of the villains, probably.
I know he's one of the villains. And we could easily look this stuff up for the Flash lore and DC Comics, but I don't want to. I kind of want to learn as the show unfolds.
So that this way, if it's a disappointment, we won't know.
Yes. All right. If you watched The Flash Season 3, Episode 1, what did you think? Make sure to let us know in the comments. While you're there, hit that subscribe button. Be on top of all the new videos coming out here on Durbania. And when you hit that subscribe button, you'll be on top of when we do our Arrow Season 5, Episode 1 review, which is going to be coming up here, pretty shortly. So, I'm Durbin.
I'm Laura.
Thank you so much for checking out Durbania.